be God rich, I had to check it in my own life and say to God, Lord, I need to stop playing around. I need to stop pretending. I need to stop saying to myself that, yeah, I love God, when my actions say otherwise. I look at how hard I work. Let me just say me now, to look after myself. I was joking with the guys and said, I can raise money on anybody's head to look after myself. Or can you raise money on anybody's head to look after God's kingdom? To make sure that souls come to Christ. But souls don't really matter to us, really. Souls coming to Christ, what is that? It's what God looks at. He says that seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added. Seek first, meaning before you're seeking your own life, you're seeking first. Practically, what is the question I asked? If I'm going to spend something, let's just use lady as an example. If I'm going to spend an amount of money on my hair, let me just use that as an example. It's very practical tonight. If I'm going to spend an amount of money on my hair, I better ask myself, have I spent that on God before? Honestly to God now. Have I spent it on God before? If I haven't, then you're joking with yourself. This is more out to mature Christians tonight, though. I must say this. And you decide if you're mature or not. I'm not even talking about those people that are still wondering whether God is real. That's your issue. That's your headache. You will know when he's real when you die. That's your issue. That's your headache. I'm not going to chase after anybody that thinks. I was with Emmanuel. No, Emmanuel put me on the phone to one of my young friends the other day. I got so tired of him. I just said, you're deceived, you know. You're worrying about whether Jesus is black or not. And he's saying, oh, Catholic people, they put up a picture of Jesus. I told him, you know that Jesus is still alive. If somebody is putting up a picture and pointing to Jesus and says, oh, that is Jesus, have you gone mad? The man is still alive and he's sitting at the right hand of God. That obviously is not Jesus, because Jesus is not on this earth. So how can you then say that is Jesus? That's just a digression to those that think, oh, is God real? Like I said, you will find out when you die. But I hope that you make the right decision before you die. Now, being God rich. Establishing yourself in a church is being God rich. Again, another people I'm not talking to are people that decide when they want to go to church or not. You gotta be kidding me. You actually have to be kidding me, and I hope this is piercing you, and I hope you want to fight me. I still have a video of when I used to fight when I was younger. Come try fight me. Come and try fight me. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You're young. And life is not set up for you to prosper. That's right. It's not. So when we begin to get God rich, life can no longer hold us down. Life can throw any question it wants our way, but we will answer those questions with God. But if you're not God rich, you're going to look for God when it's time to look for God, and God will not answer you. He says, call upon me while I can be found. You see, while I can be found. And let me tell you how you know when God can be found. When there's a generation of young people that are gathering on a Monday night, talking about God, crying before God, wailing before God, and you still decide to do whatever you want to do. That is the while he can be found. But I've seen it constantly in life, that there are some people, after a while, years down the line, many people that are sitting here today, and I don't know who those people are, will begin to prosper in life. And then people will then see it and they want to follow. But the while you can be found for your life is over. It's over. You're just going to have to settle for an average life with a husband or a wife that slaps you up and down. It may be funny today, but I'm sure many of our parents, when our dads threw the first blow, didn't know it was coming as well. And it was funny when it was also said to them. These things are real in life. And what stops us from going down that road is being God rich. Just think about it. You proclaim God and you're sitting here. That's why I have to talk like this. You're sitting there. But the problem is, but how rich are you towards your work? You're rich. When you went to the job interview, people, you were sitting there smiling, wore your best clothes for somebody that you don't even know, you know. A man that decided that he was going to take his life in his hands and do something with his life. Now you've gone to sit down at the job. Say, I just want this, lied, all kind of lies to get the job. I know everybody's straight faced, but you know, you needed that job so bad. He said, are you experiencing this? Yeah, in fact. You know how many people come for me for reference, for jobs? They say, just say that I worked with you. They say, okay, and I say, okay, no problem. But this is for somebody that you don't even know. I know we got to survive in life, but you would survive better if you was God rich. Yes. I see people struggling. They don't have no job, or they have so much time in their hands, and still they can't make it to church on time. I don't understand it. I see people who have their own businesses, this and that, and yet they still can't make it to church on time. They're not God rich. And these things are seeming little, again, if you're in church or not. I'm not even the senior pastor of our church anyway. So it would make sense if I was talking about the senior pastor. I mean, I was a senior pastor talking to everybody. I'm just one of you, talking to you. In your own respective churches, like Yasmin will tell you last week, I was asking, what time do you go to church? What time do you arrive at church? Because if you're not God rich, then don't expect God to give you his riches.